using sometimes because
Please forgive me.
nope, let me finish just real
Now,
quick.
your
So,
public servant, if you could, please write that woman's name down. That's your job. I need her name and last name.
so what I want to just finish saying is that I I am here with Pam and Justine as the district representative for the Roseau School District. As far as Head Start and their programming, even their staff, I don't know what you've heard from different people, but they kind of rent a space from us, and that's about as much communication as we have. We see each other when we have meetings like this, where Pam and Justine are here, and then I'll come as well. And so we have that kind of collaboration. We try to support the best we can because Wyatt will be our student when he comes to kindergarten, and he's ours in that regard now. But as far as his programming, truly like his staff, anything that happens in that classroom that's disconnected from the school district. So I do apologize because I know it's confusing, but he is ours in the fact that Pam and Justine are working with him. But as far as what's happening at his schooling experience, that's with Head Start. And the part that gets confusing there is that they're located in our building. So it is tricky, and I didn't call you back right away yesterday after I got your second message because I just said I talked to our superintendent and I just said, well, this is this is a district and that's Head Start, and so I know he had talked to Misty as well, because we do want Wyatt to be safe, to have good programming. In our meeting today, we really wanted to look at his services and what we're providing. And you are the parents. You have every right to every feeling. You absolutely can and should advocate. I understand, especially if, Wyatt's not always able to advocate for himself. It makes you need to advocate all the more, and we really do support that. So I think that we have kind of two things happening. We wanted to have an IEP meeting today. If you don't feel like you're ready to do that, if you feel like we need to resolve some other things first, we can do that. What I'm hearing, the things that need to be resolved are with Head Start.
And they done said they weren't going to take care of it, so who's going to take care of it then?
Could I just say?
Because Mom has got a lawyer.
As far as,
If it's supposed to say it or not.
we kind of talked about a half a day. So do you think you will bring him back tomorrow?
I doubt it.
Do you want to think about it over the holidays? And then maybe we could start fresh, and even if we had him come in the mornings to Head Start, and Justine and I have actually been going in there and providing services, and that's where we come in.
So it
As
sounds
long
like
as
Miss.
you was in there, I don't mind it.
So-
Other than that, he's not allowed to
So
be here.
why should he be in there if the lady Misty says y'all wouldn't qualify to take care of him?
Who said that? No, I
You
don't
mean
even
Steve?
know who said that. What?
I'm sitting here to Misty.
That doesn't sound like something Misty would say, though. I mean, I'm sorry.
She
there's
told
a
us
lot
we
of-
needed to put him with somebody else out here at the schoolhouse. Is what she told me.
She was
That.
talking about you.
Huh? I'm not in this school.
I know,
Oh.
but
She was-
she was talking about you. She
Okay.
said the only person that we had that works with mental and disabled children was such and such. And she named your name.
Oh, well, because I'm the disabilities and mental health
And
manager.
I
So
get
for all
that.
of our Head Starts, I help our staff implement the IEPs that are written.
Mm-hmm.
So was written by the school district, I help them implement.
Yep,
as
that's
well as the
exactly
help
what
from
she
the school
said. She
district.
said
Yep.
she couldn't help me and that the teachers couldn't help him learning. The only person that could help him was you. So I was sitting there talking to her. I said,
And
well,
that's something to
if
say.
she's the only person that can help him since you labeled him with
That's not
disability,
true.
then how come she's not in the class with him at all times?
And we've told it somebody.
She's just she's the one that helps us, so we know what we can use with Wyatt to make sure he
The way she described it to me, that he would be with a certain person not dealing with that class, with a person somewhere else all day, a different program. Something she said about it, something different. She said.
The only I mean, if she was talking about another program, I obviously am not sure what she said there, but there's another option, I guess, if you didn't want him in Head Start. There is a school readiness option that the school provides, so he would be in a different classroom, but it would still be a general education classroom, just like he's in now, just with different peers. It wouldn't be the same classroom he's in
She
now.
said it would be like a 1-day thing or something like that. Said it wouldn't be 2 times.
Yep, the school readiness program, are they 2 days this year?
We have 2-day program and a 1-day program.
Okay,
So,
so maybe
if-
that's what she was
so
talking
you
about?
gonna send them to a classroom for another classroom with more different students?
That if you didn't feel comfortable sending him back to Head Start, would be my assumption.
Well, if she said ain't nobody in there qualified, why would there be somebody down there? What would make a difference?
Did
That-
sorry, did you also say that you wanted to have him be pulled out of the classroom?
No. She was telling us the only options that we had wasn't the best way in your class. It was just with another person. That they didn't realize he was the way he was. I said, wait a minute now. I said, everything White's done, Miss Justine's wrote it down and yours wrote it down. I said, how can you tell me nobody didn't know how he was? Well, they didn't know he was that bad.
Because he was an early Head Start, correct?
No.
Yeah, he come
No,
he
not
come out here
Oh,
for
early
Okay,
Head
not
Start.
early Head Start?
he come out here for
We didn't-
Oh, I thought I saw
No,
that
it was
in here,
in
that's,
the-
I thought
No,
she.
Right, not in the home or in the
Not
class.
correct.
Got it.
She
It was
just
the
went.
whole.
Yeah, it was a virtual.
he was coming out
He
here
was
before
coming out here
COVID.
before
This
he
classroom or the
come to
next class.
house.
He went to that
He was
next.
coming out
Yes,
here.
for special education.
Yeah.
Yes,
services,
so that was,
yes.
so that was
That-
not Head Start.
That was not Head Start, correct. That was
She didn't. The way
early
she sounded, he didn't
childhood
need to be
special
back in that class. The way she was laughing at me. That's why I thought it was her. They was. Were you there with her yesterday?
Not me laughing.
I wish y'all could find out who was there with her and ask them.
It pissed him off.
So-
But you could hear him on the phone.
That
just
was
going to town.
not me.
So, and I'm just, I'm not going with that conversation, I'm just gonna tell you what the options would be. So if he was in our Head Start classroom, it would be the same days that he's coming now. He would still have his one-on-one, which is Lynn in our classroom, who you know. And Brittany would still be his teacher.
He has wonderful days with Lynn.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And
You can tell the difference.
If you-
I can tell a difference.
if you chose not to have him in Head Start anymore, the other option would be that school readiness program, which would exclude both of us, and it would just be with the school then, at that point. And that would also exclude Misty. She wouldn't be a part of that either, because she's the Head Start director.
Well,
So-
since you with them, I'm asking you. I need the
I know
lady's
she ain't got
name.
a point in this. She ain't got no say. She's just the Head Start director.
name.
But the way she labeled my child and was talking about him,
Y'all
like she
shoulda heard
knew
it.
him all her life.
We're not making it
And when
up.
she didn't.
Okay.
I mean, he's not no number. He's not no category. He wasn't even supposed to be here. I went through hell to get him here.
That's the way
So,
she
I
labeled
want
it. She
the
didn't
best
like. She
help.
didn't. Man.
I want him to go to school as much as possible. It don't matter what I
Wish
have
he
to
could
do.
go
I
5
want
days.
him to get the help he needs.
And
But
I
I'm
want
not
that
gonna
too.
stand
She
and let
talked him
nobody
down.
discredit him
Rather he's
or
like that or
talk
not.
shit about him because he has a learning disability.
So I think what is, and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I think right now it's up to you two to choose if you would still like him in the Head Start program, or if you would like him in the school readiness program, or what you guys would feel best for yourself and for Wyatt, that you think would be best for him, and that could make you feel good about sending him.
Well, the first thing is you can mark her off the list. She won't be around him. If you
Right.
don't, if it's not took care of today, I'm going to stop by and take a restraining
Right.
order out on her.
Is this the Friday thing again?
Yep.
Is okay. So what I can tell you there.
When I told the lady that, she laughed at me. She said, "We'll see. She'll beat her. Nothing you can do about it."
What I can tell
I
you.
said, "I can't."
What I can tell you about her is that she's normally not in a classroom.
That's-
She's a family advocate.
Yeah.
However, if we are short-staffed, she does come in and sub. But I can tell you, if she is going to come in and sub, we could let you know, and you could choose whether or not you wanted him there that day. If that would be something that would make you feel
So
better.
she's just a sub.
She's a family advocate, so her job is primarily not in a classroom. It's out working with families out of the office, so
Well,
it's
she
not
has-
in our classroom.
My
That's
opinion, she has no business in there, dear.
That's mostly with, she is mostly interacting with parents.
That's my
That
opinion.
explains a
I
lot.
sure do.
versus
There you go, right there. That's the
But,
whole
but if
problem.
we do need a sub, she is qualified
She
to
tried
sub.
to, she talking about she's good. I've known her for 6 years, never had a complaint. Why in the hell can you see her pinch him? Is he going to tell it? No, he's not going to tell it. You praising her. That's what I told her. You praising her. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody. Nobody's perfect. Ain't but one person. He ain't even a person. He's my God. He's perfect. Okay? But we as people, we've took advantage of it. That's a different story. But she's not perfect.
So would that be something you would be interested
That'd be a
in?
start. For my,
Is if
on
she-
my,
if she
that's
was-
my opinion.
If she was going to be in the classroom, letting you know ahead of time?
But mom's got the final say so.
I mean, I'm asking if that would be something that you would be all right with. Or do you not feel comfortable with him in that classroom at
It's
all?
not, it's not the obligation. She's still in denial and trying to say that I didn't see what I seen.
Okay.
And I'm not crazy.
From the way I took
So,
it on the phone,
Can you
she
tell
was
me
apologizing.
what you would like to see then? What you think would be best for him? What are
It ain't
conclusions?
just for him. I want the safety for all the children in that class because I've heard talk and I've actually seen her do things that she don't even supposed to do.
How can y'all
Like
go?
I said, I'm a DSP. I know the direct
Okay.
support of people.
How you gonna keep him in the class? He's a runner.
And that's why the doorbell's up.
But that's not.
It's in 3 different spots. So it rings 3 different times before the door even gets there. So I mean,
So it's like motion sensor?
it's a motion sensor one, so whenever,
Sounds pretty nice. Used to have him on my dirt road back when I lived in the country in North Carolina. But if it was summertime before COVID hit, summertime and them front doors was open, I was out here bringing Ava food for Thanksgiving in the bag. I went down to the gym to get her and come back, made it back to the office because my son, he takes and turns, he runs straight to the door. First door is open. If the second door had been open, she'd have never caught him, and he was trying to open it.
And honestly,
Look at the cameras.
I don't know that anybody can guarantee that there's any way
Well,
to
then
prevent
why-
that. I mean,
Why should we feel safe to bring him there and say that?
I don't, that's a choice you guys are gonna have to make. I can tell you that he's got his one-on-one. Lynn can chase after him, but I can't tell you she's gonna be able to stop him before he gets out the door. Will she catch up to him? Absolutely she will, because she's pretty fast. But I can't tell you she's gonna be able to prevent that. I can't predict every scenario that's going to happen.
My thing is, she's going to catch up with him one time, he's going to be laying on the floor. That's what's going to happen. And it happened, and it won't be nobody's fault. It's just a part of life. Some people say you can prevent death, and some say you can't. I won't die on
I
a
want him
boat.
to continue school.
I
The
won't-
only way I want him to continue school is if Brittany, Justin, and Lynn works with him.
Okay.
That's my final say-so. Anybody else, I don't want around him. If they're gonna sit there and be the way they are with my child or any child, I don't want them around them.
So even Amber and Darlene, the other 2 pairs
I
in the
don't know
classroom?
those. See, I work all the time. Only
Okay.
time when I get off.
One of them
is
got
when I gotta
long
pick 'em
hair.
up.
they are
Amber
in
has
the room
long hair.
every day.
She's not a good one either.
Work together.
Okay, I seen her
Yeah.
one day when they had to go out there and get white, or she had to come in.
Okay.
I seen that she come in one day and got the wagon because they had to take the wagon back out there. I don't say nothing all the time. I seen the face and heard her grumbling about she come out there and got the wagon because she had to take it back out there. She didn't even try to help Miss Lynn. She took it out there to the swing, or was it merry-go-round? Just threw it down and turned around and walked away. Didn't know who I was. Seen her face, listened to her complain. Seen her. The day you let me in the class and said they going to get him. The day it happened. I just don't say nothing.
And when things happen, you need to address it right away and not let it
Prolong to see what's happening next.
correct.
Oh yeah,
because
I'm gonna start coming out in your
Just
city
because-
if you don't mind.
Just
It
because
just-
people got a job don't mean they love it. Die hard love it.
It's not that I work with people who has mental and physical problems. And then on top of that, the way they get treated, it's the way Wyatt gets treated at times.
I don't want him running in other classes.
I don't want him discredited.
And it's not every day that he runs out
Yeah, I know.
either. It's just, I think, when he gets maybe overstimulated or
Hyper, or he gets upset or anything, that's
Correct.
how he reacts. He runs or he beats
And
things.
I told
know.
you to have
that's-
Linda pick him
that's
up,
where
hug
it's-
him, love him, and say stuff to him, and
you
he'll
have
stop
to
hitting
calm him
himself.
about like a raging not say a dog or anything like that to be discredited, but it's got the same way like a tough cat or a tough bunny. You actually have to calm their nerves down and everything. Why it's the same way.
Pick him up
He
and
gets
hold him.
so
10
frustrated
seconds.
that he just doesn't know what to do and he doesn't know how to talk. So that's his way of reacting.
If you take a toy from him and makes him mad, it's like he's beating
He'll
drums.
lash out.
He's gonna be.
He doesn't know no
He's gonna be a
better.
hell child when he ever goes to talking, which I know he
Can
will.
I ask a question?
He's gonna be rough.
When you say hug him, do you mean just give him a hug,
Pick
or do
him
you
up
mean
and-
he's like
Just
fighting you
comfort-
until he
no,
calms
Yeah,
down?
He
yeah,
will not
there you
fight
go.
you.
I
He
mean,
might
he'll
try to
stop.
step away or anything, will push you away.
Show
But
him you in
once
control.
you pick him up and you actually calm him, say, "It's okay, Daddy," you know, with that tight mommy voice or Karen voice, he'll look at you and then all of a sudden you can see his demeanor die down.
All you gotta do is say, I love
He'll
you,
go
hold
to
him.
relax.
rub his
and say,
head.
Yeah,
And I can tell you that Lynn can give him a hug,
we've seen
but
him.
she legally cannot hold him.
I know.
So
I know.
I
We're
think
not
that's
allowed to
where
do it
that's where
either.
it's tough. I mean, she can't do any sort of restraining like that. So she could give him a hug, but if there's
Yeah.
any motion of him wanting to get away, she has to let him go.
I know, and
So-
I understand that. That's just the rules and
Yeah.
guidelines of Minnesota state law, in which I understand that.
Mhm.
But there is cases where you have to go to that extra mile to make that connection with people or children,
To keep him safe.
just to keep them safe, to keep that demeanor there.
Do you think we would say something to her, or you think a judge or a 12 jury would lock her up for picking up a child, hugging him, protecting him,
No.
keeping him safe? No.
Legally, we'd have to fire her with Head Start, though.
Well, I
Really?
We
mean,
wouldn't be. Head Start regulations do not allow us to physically hold or restrain children at all. That's the kind of the tough part here.
So
I
if
mean,
he was
So
to
what's the
fall out there
difference-
and
what's the
bust
difference
his
locking him
knee
down in the
open
chair
or
then?
something like that, and
She
he
could
was
help-
sobbing.
she could help him up.
She could have him sit, but she can't be like,
what's the difference locking him down in the chair then?
He's
If
not
you
locked
came
in
in
the
straight.
chair. He's allowed to get up if he wants to get up. That's
Not
the
if he's
difference.
not if he's in the belt.
If he wants to get out, they'll
You-
let him
now
out.
you
the
told us.
the seatbelt that's in that seat is only used if he gestures towards it. Otherwise, it's flipped out, like laid out on the sides.
So how did he beat the shit out of his legs?
There is a tray that sits on it and it has I can go grab it, so you guys can actually see it. And it's kind of in there and it keeps him in there kind of, just so when he eats, he can have a tray, have a table instead of just his lap.
How long did
What
y'all?
you're describing is up here.
Did you take him
Bruising
out?
on his legs happened down here.
He beat for a minute. I'm sure if you
They
sit him in
lined
the
up
chair,
perfectly like he was locked in one place. Like he had repeatedly took
Over
his
and over
legs
and
did
over.
like this.
The
So when
only
he
other
started
thing
acting like that, how long did he stay in the
is-
chair? Did you take him right out? Did you leave him in it?
We
when
took
they-
him out after our snack. Our snack.
Even
is
though he
about
was sitting there
15
beating and stuff like that, you should have took him
no,
out.
No, Tim. No, he was not. He stopped when he scratched himself that day. He was just done.
So when he was scratching, he was kicking at the same time.
We let him out, and that's when we get cooled down. We did a cool down. We walked around. He also went on a ride in the wagon, a ride in the wagon around the room, and he was fine. And we went outside, and that's when we were playing outside, and he was fine. And there are times where he takes off his boots. Yes, that day seemed to be the day where he just didn't want the boots on, and we put them back on. He lets us put them back on, just like the mittens, puts the mittens back on. And yeah, it is slippery out there. Things happen out there, and we try the best we can to make sure it's safe out there for those kids. And sometimes it does happen where they do get hurt, but we're there to help them and show them it's okay.
You know,
I
For-
understand
you
shit
gotta have a
happens,
heart.
but the way his bruises lined up,
He was there.
he was there repeatedly
He's
for a
outside
while, beating
right now.
himself in that permanent, and I've seen a lot of bruising. I take CDSs and bridge learning all the time for this. But the way his legs and the way they lined up perfectly, looked like somebody had whacked him with a bat across his legs, or he had sought one motion and
On that
repeatedly
chair.
beat his legs for over 5 minutes straight.
It probably didn't take that long. Probably a little. I would guess.
Yes, it did. The way it was black and blue.
Well, he probably didn't take. It don't take but a minute. He can beat so many times in a minute. So
If you don't want him to have a chair with a tray, we don't have to have a chair.
my
with a tray.
opinion, he.
No,
But I can't guarantee
I
he'll sit down at the
understand
table.
that. I understand that. it's a way of you guys getting him to sit down. But fully restraining him or restraining him to lock him down, you can't do that in Minnesota.
I think it's too much for him. I think he's too much for y'all.
Eh,
I do. I just think he's
You're
too much.
fine with him. I'm seeing you
I'm
work
saying
with
at
him.
school
You're
in the
fine
class.
with him. I'm seeing you work with him.
I'm talking about.
It's just the point of, how can I say that, demeanor of everybody else. I know they won't go out their way and care in case something dramatically happens the way you guys would.
It takes a special
That's
person
why
to
my
take care of
nerves are
somebody like
sugar to
that.
shit right now.
It
I
takes
just want to make sure that it doesn't happen again.
Just because
That's
you're a
it.
teacher, just
Yeah.
because you're a
You want
teacher,
more safety.
don't mean you're
Thank
qualified
you.
to work with a child like
That's
that.
it.
Totally understand.
Now, if somebody would have gone on the phone the other day and told me this shit, I wouldn't have felt like this all week. I had got so dramatic. I have called the educational department. I've called disability lawyers.
Y'all
You
should have
don't
heard that woman.
understand how mad I've got over my
The
child.
way that woman talked to us.
She talked to me like I was an underclass person. Talked to me like I was pure shit. And I didn't like it. But now that's my young'un. If I can't stand up for him, who in the hell's gonna stand up for him? But yeah, I could tell White was distraught. Whether he was half asleep or whatever went down, something went down with my child and it wasn't right. It was not right.
And you know, Justin, we've told you over and over, he don't say mom.
So I couldn't ask him. All I could do was hold him and comfort him when I got him in the truck. Once he said, "Mama, help me,"
You're like, well,
You're wondering.
I'm like,
yep.
what the hell went the phone today? You know, I just reacted. I called his daddy. I said, you need to get on the phone. I said, call Brittany and see what went on. Brittany told me at the door, such and such, this is how it happened. I watched such and such. I observed her snatching back. I said, get to the bottom of it. Because something happened so bad. Wyatt is sitting here crying to me, and he never cries to me.
If she didn't feel
He
guilty,
is strong as all get out with me.
why did she get on the phone crying Friday when I spoke with her? I was sign of guilt there. I just stood my ground with the background. No, ma'am. I'm sorry you mistook it like that. That's not what you think. She didn't know that was mom. That's the first question I said. You didn't know that was White's mom, did you? She started crying. You was there with her, am I lying? Was she crying? That's exactly what I asked her. Started crying. No, she had messed up. And the way that woman talks, she's kind of making me think that he don't belong in there. Even though she could have been a little more professional about it.
No, he belongs. He belongs. Absolutely. 100% he belongs here. Everybody belongs here.
And not telling you what to do, but it's my opinion. I'd call that lady and ask her why she's trying to point the fingers at you at this school. You ain't got nothing to do with it. Send your office, mind your business.
Well, I think right now, this part, I feel like we're not ready to have an IEP meeting today. And I think that's okay. We can come back to that.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think for that part, I think we just kind of table that and
That don't
I
mean
think
throw it
probably-
away.
no,
That means keep it.
no, absolutely not.
No.
But I mean, if
We want him to have
we have some
services.
things that you still feel you need to resolve, and I think we've kind of reached the end of what we can do with the people who are here. I'm not Misty, so I can't speak for her. I don't know what she did or didn't say. The Head Start stuff really is out of my hands.
Everybody's got a
school.
boss.
No, gosh, no. You know what?
But-
Should you choose to not be, this is from mine and Justine's point of view now. Should you not choose to come back to Head Start, and you are thinking about school readiness, which is the public school, which is also us, could you give us a little bit of heads up, because there's things.
We wouldn't put him
No,
there.
no,
We wouldn't.
we
So
would
that
leave
ain't
it
even gonna be
there.
no option. So
Yeah, so that would be the other option, and we would need a paraprofessional. But even if you chose to come back, there's nobody like Lynn. I mean, I'm just gonna say that.
Oh, well, I've had no
I-
problem with Lynn. I told him if she leaves, you
You
call
know-
me. I'll come get him.
Yeah, so there, I mean, there's no para like Lynn. So if even if you bring him back just for a little bit in the mornings, you get the best para. I just want to say that. No offense to our staff, but it's true. I mean, just
I can
that's a
tell.
major positive, right?
Oh,
About,
absolutely.
You know,
I've always said it.
we have other special ed kiddos placed with her, and you just get a really good thing. So even if you think, okay, we could come for a couple hours and maybe not the meal times, which are the chairs, maybe that would be okay. You know, like 9 to what time is lunch? 11:30 after. You know, even if you brought him in for a couple hours and he could get a good days there.
See, that's the point. I don't want him like him just because somebody was an asshole.
Oh, okay. Well, then
No
please bring him
offense.
back every
No
day, and
offense.
I think they can resolve it. I have no
Yeah,
doubt.
I mean,
that
I'm
you
not
guys
trying to sugarcoat it, and I'm not putting the
That's
blame on
You
nobody.
don't have.
But it's like I said,
Yeah.
when we called out here
Yeah.
Friday, if somebody would have said, well, hey, I'm sorry, it'll never happen again, you know, blah, 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 this,
Yeah.
I'll make sure it's this approach, I wouldn't have been the way I was,
No.
Mhm.
And he's your
just
whole
to be
world.
straight.
No, he's your whole world, and we're all moms, and
You daggone
We
right, he's
do
my
react
whole world.
that way.
The doctors
He's your
told me
whole world.
not to have him, they was trying to get me to abort
Oh.
him,
oh,
but I stuck it out, and I'm willing to stick this out.
I need, before we leave, no disrespect, y'all need her name. Her name
I
and her
don't
last
even
name.
know who we're speaking about here. I'm
The
sorry.
lady from the class, we all
like
public
when
service
I was
here.
truthful with you guys
okay?
yesterday, I said,
It's
I
your
don't even
job
know
in the,
what you're talking
and
about.
it's your job in the law to give me her name,
no,
both of them. I want her name and Misty's
So
name.
I'm apologizing to you too.